Hi guys, it's Cracker Lacking Cuz Sirena Barefoot Gypsy. Hello. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and anyone who comes across my videos. And it's my intention, my goal, that by sharing my experiences and messages that I receive, that it helps you in some way. And I just, you're not alone. So this is kind of going off of the message that I just uploaded. The thumbnail is self-forgiveness, so check that out if you so desire. This video, I know I've been tearing up because so many things are happening. So excuse me for a minute. So this video is for any parents out there, or anyone, for parents. So going along with the self-forgiveness, so the revelation epiphany that came through for me is, okay, let me start over. Hi. So for any parents, maybe your children are grown or maybe they're not, but if you have regrets or of the person that you were when raising your children, you have deep regrets about, sadness, and for myself, I can speak. Yeah, you're right. I would not allow, and I have not allowed myself to forgive myself, because I feel so horribly bad about the person that I was when my children were young and growing up, okay? I felt like, how do I put this in words? I felt like because I feel so bad about how I was, that I could forgive myself for my children's sake. Okay, what do I mean by that? I don't know how to put it into words. Like I had to hold on to this unforgiveness, because for my children, in a sense. I know it makes no sense. I don't know how to really put this into words. That doesn't do anyone any good, does it? We can't go back and change things. But what we can do is forgive ourselves. But what we can do is help our adult children express, voice their side, how they felt. Because, see, we have to show our children, because perhaps our children are so understanding of what you went through, that they have an understanding, and that they not necessarily make excuses, but yeah, they make excuses for us. I know, what my mom and dad was going through, and I know things were hard for them, and they weren't there for me and stuff, but I understand why, because, they were going blah, 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 because of their life and what happened to them, and But helping our children being able to express and feel what they felt, what they should feel, because they were children. So they have their perspective of you and of the situation, but they still have their part as a child. So to help them grow and to help them heal what you did to them, because see, you look at your adult children and you see the struggles that they go through. Hang on. Okay. You see the struggles and things that they go through in their relationships and in their lives because they learned it from you. So you created that. And you love your children. And you see the damage that you've caused them. But please, do yourself and your children a favor. Forgive yourself. Talk to them. Let them express how they felt. And it's going to hurt. I'm sure you already know, but there's things you probably don't know because it's from their perspective. And if you were on drugs and alcohol or just so fucking caught up in your own shit and your own pain that you didn't see everything that was happening. But when you forgive yourself and you heal yourself, then you could come back to your children, help them. So they have healthy relationships. So when they have children, you guys can work together to stop the generation of the abuse, of the toxicity. Because see, it's her fucking fault. And this is why at least in my case, why I couldn't forgive myself. I refused, and I said I will never, because there's no excuse. I know. I was a mom, and moms should be better, regardless. Other people do it, so then we start comparing ourselves to other parents and stuff, and then depending on things that keep you in your addiction, it keeps you in your toxic ways. I can't begin to express how much I'm really today realizing the extreme importance of self-forgiveness. Have a talk with your children. Listen to them, though. Listen to them. Because, now, for my instance, I was that daughter with my mom. I've always understood and overstood my mom's life and what she lived, and being who I am, very understanding of that. So I felt like I never blamed her. I still don't blame her. And, this is years, she was murdered in 98, in December. So she'd been dead for a while. And, God, spirit, whatever, really did a work, was showing me that you were a child also. So from the perspective of of a child, I allowed myself to get mad and hurt, and then the guilt, because the only reason why it was like that was from her life and her unhealing. And same with the people in your life, you can forgive, you can forgive someone, say they physically abused you, or they did this or they did that, and it only comes from because of shit in their life, and you don't ever hold that against them, because and I wouldn't, just understanding like that, but there's still your part in it, allowing yourself to feel that part. I said, I got mad, I got angry. I allowed myself to feel the things from a child's perspective. Hey, you're my adult, you're my caretaker. You know what I mean? I didn't stay in that energy, and I still don't blame her, but I mean, that's I guess healing your inner child. I just heard I didn't hear, however messages come. That's giving your inner child, that's giving the child that you are a voice. Hey, this hurt me. I needed you. Why are you so mean? You yelled all the time, or whatever. Angry, angry, angry. Give your inner child a voice. Help your children. They probably, and it's really not our children's business, really, right, for them to know what we've gone through in our lives. But you know what? Maybe sitting down, apologizing, taking accountability and acceptance for your role. I'm sorry I fucked your life up. How can we fix this? You're a great person. Nobody wants to see their children with low self-esteem, or these thoughts that come into their head all the time of self-defeating and all the shit that they learn by watching you. I mean, how can you show your children self-esteem and all of these things if you can't do it yourself, if you're not that yourself? This is why healing oneself is so important. Because don't we truly teach people by, I got something on my eye now, by showing them, not by our words, but by showing them. Hold on, I gotta get this out of my eye. F it, the shit's still in there. But anyway, so that's that's it. That's it. We all have a past. And some of us have a very colorful past. Colorful is a great way to put it, right? It just came to me about being ashamed of who we were. No, don't do that. It was just coming through. Don't be ashamed of who you were. I mean, you can't change it. And you didn't know any better. So the world, the whatever, would want you to stay in that. I heard they feed off of that. Because if you live in fear, you're easily controlled as well. Wow. False evidence appearing real. When you're stuck in that state of unforgiveness, you're stuck in that state. It's like the fear is of all the things that have happened. I heard like waiting for the other shoe to drop or to fall, you know. So you never move forward. Too much has happened. Too much has happened to show you that this always happens. But see, that's the old paradigm and thinking. You can't go back and change how you were, what you did, but you can do your children justice by helping them, by talking to them, by letting them voice their thing and talking it out. Not a blame game. Not, well, you did this to me. Well, I did that because of, you know, no. But you're healthier now, right? In your mind. But you're not quite getting to where you need to be because you need to forgive yourself. You can understand, understand, and overstand your parents. Because I'm sure if you were like that, you come from an effed up home as well, or something happened to you, right? Maybe it wasn't your family and it was an outside influence, but, you know, coming to that place within yourself and forgiving your parents. Maybe you've never really needed to forgive your parents, but letting your inner child have a voice. We don't need to be stuck in this paradigm of always thinking that we have to dwell on the past and we have to go back and go back. You don't have to go back and go back and go back all the time. But recognize things for what it is. And I think what most things, it seems to be coming to me that most things boil down to, no matter what's happened to you, and depending on what age or whatever, it's going to be self-forgiveness, because for some reason we take on what happens to us, especially, I mean, I can only speak, I'm speaking of sexual abuse, because that's what happened with me, and this is where all my shit comes from. Well, not all of it, but you take that on, and for some reason we feel bad about ourselves when we're sexually abused. We take it on like we did something wrong. We're children. Some of us very, very, very young. Very young. I mean, way too young. I don't even know how it's possible, but wow. Anyway, we carry all that on. We carry that guilt and that shame, and we carry that in, and it's like a disease. It festers unbeknownst to us. Free yourself. You don't have to camp out there, though. And you don't have to go back a million times. It is what it is. Make peace with it and go on. How do you make peace with it? You make the decision, because you control your own thoughts. You can't control the outside world, but you can control what you think and what you choose to do with your thoughts and your words and your everything. So maybe you have a talk with yourself. Maybe you have a talk with the God in you. Maybe you have this talk and you say, hey, Okay? Sirena, I forgive you for the horrible things that you did, the horrendous things that you did. I forgive you. You didn't know then. I know you feel bad, really bad. But you can't keep going this way. You can't keep beating yourself up. You can't keep sabotaging your life. You can't keep punishing yourself. It's over. Because all you're doing is you're showing your children you're the same person even though you're not. I forgive you for what you didn't know. I release you from that burden. I release you from that pain. Don't do it again. Let it go. It's like a cancer. Let it go. Because these, even though you don't think about it, unconsciously aware of it all the time, these things that are buried deep in us eat us away like a cancer. It causes dis-ease in your body temple that houses your soul, your spirit, your energy, your light. I love you. Please, just think about what I'm saying. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Do yourself, your children, your grandchildren, and generations to come. You be the one that changes everything. Maybe your whole family line is riddled with addictions and abusive relationships and toxic things and all of that. You can change all that, you and your children. Because your children don't want to live, and they don't want to raise their children what they had to live in and how they were raised. With the anger, with all that crap. Forgive yourself. Talk to your children. Talk it out. And then you and your children can come together, or your child or whatever, and then you can go around and you can speak the two of you together to the masses and say, hey, we can help rebuild the family dynamic. It doesn't have to be this way. Repair it. Because one day you or they, someone is gone, and then the chance is no longer there until you see them on the other side. So the survivors, when you're gone or when one of them is gone, are the ones that are left with that unspoken, unsaid things. Wish I would have while they were still here. I wish I would have, bringing back the family dynamic, everyone being able to speak their side and the other person listen and not tell them you're wrong, but maybe, hey, no, maybe it wasn't really like that. This is what happened. Okay. Not their feelings. Could be a situation, but allowing each one to speak and not taking anything away from them. And then going around and telling other people and showing other people and talking, let's get the family back together. Gender roles and blah, blah, blah. If a man is the one who likes to cook and clean, well, then let them do that. If you're the one who doesn't really like to, and you're a woman and you really prefer to work and you really prefer to do this and you really prefer to do that, whatever. Let's not get hung up on all the old paradigms and control system. What about everybody? I put in 100%, you put in 100%. If I say I love you and you're in my life, then every single day I want you to be better and I want to do the things that help your life. This is the way relationships should be with one another. In any situation, in any kind of situation, you help, you encourage. If you're a person that talks down and wants to tear somebody down, I hope that the person that this is being done to loves themselves and loves the person that's doing it so much that they leave that situation. It helps both parties. It helps you. And then hopefully it would help them to recognize and see their side. Am I on a squirrel thing? Am I on a side note right now? Right now? Oh my gosh, you guys. So my daughter-in-law, my son, and my baby girl, granddaughter, got me this for Christmas. This is the coolest thing. I opened this up last night and I was reading on here. I was reading these things. It's like manifestations. It's a whole thing. And I was like, oh man, to write down everything that I want to see and your visions and your goals and your intention for this year. I mean, this is going to take some thought. It's not just something you want to just jot anything down in. So this is freaking an awesome book. Thank you guys so much. Did I say? I did say daughter-in-law. I was like, I didn't call her my granddaughter, did I? That would be. But she has my granddaughter, the cutest baby girl in the world. She's special. Oh man, she's something else. And I must say, my oldest son, Aaron, who's been through the most shit with his mom, he has a hard time. And he is just like, Mom, I don't want to yell or any of that stuff around my daughter. So he goes, I don't want her. I will not raise her the way I was raised. That's hard for me, but I get it. And I can accept that. I accept my part. And that's where I think some things make it harder for some children, because if their parents won't even what's that word? Even entertain the fact that they were a shit, the parent themselves were a shit, that's going to be really hard on the child. That's why taking accountability and accepting who you were. Don't do like Sirena the Barefoot Gypsy. Don't do like me and not be willing to forgive yourself. I mean, you already have taken accountability and acceptance of who you were. Why not forgive yourself and talk to your children about it? If you really love your children and you're really sorry, then you'll do everything you can to help them now. The damage you've caused them already, and they're adults now, and you've watched them fucking go through all kinds of shit, and it breaks your heart every day, we'll help them. Peace, love, and tranquility. Namaste. I love you. Thank you. We change the world, and we can help so many other families and people out there, because as time goes on and things happen, there's more and more destruction. There's all kinds of effed up things happening. And when your small children come to you and say shit, I don't know. Believe them. Young children, I mean, I don't know, this day, and I'm just going to say there's so much sexual crazy abuse and crazy things happening. There always has been, but it goes unreported. You know why? Because children hold that in. And I've talked to people that they've told their parents about that, and their parents like, no, you're a liar. That would never happen. And they stay with the, you know, so damaging. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to come on here and be a Debbie Downer. I don't. I just want us all to heal. The light of God is you, is in you, is you. Let that light grow and fill you so much that it just pours out of you. Maybe some of you, now I guess I'm talking to the children, maybe some of you are adults and you have children, whatever, adult children. And maybe there's no possible way you could speak to your parents about it because they're just fucking horrendous or whatever. Then there's that. But don't be that parent. Don't be that parent. Let's heal the family dynamic. See, I'm just going to say this. So going back to the women's equal rights, I mean, I think it's great. Women should be able to vote or whatever, whatever. That never should have been a thing, but it is. But, once they took the woman out of the home or whatever, they broke up the family dynamic, right? There's latchkey kids. Both parents are working. The other kids take care of the other kid. And the other kid, there's no one at home. Nobody eats dinner at the table anymore and discusses things. They just eat whenever. They sit in front of the TV or one goes to their room. The other one. They broke down the family dynamic because when you could break down the family dynamic, you could break down that and it causes separation. And that goes back to the fear. Easily controlled, easily manipulated to be angry and mad at other people because, man or woman, you're acting like a vagina right now. That was way off. Scratch that out. If I did editing, I would have taken that out, but there's no editing here. We get offended because of how we think and feel about ourselves. And that's why we get offended. Okay, I'm getting off of here because now I'm wiped out. It's too much. I gotta go. I love you guys though. I truly do. Mwah. Kisses, kisses, kisses. Nurture. Heal yourself. Come to that so you can be a better person. So then you can help your children and you can help others. Oh yeah, the family dynamic. Breaking down the family dynamic and causing separation. People getting mad at each other all the time because you said something and you didn't mean it that way at all, but somebody took it wrong and they insist that that's how you meant it, or they don't say anything, and then there's animosity and resentment. And see, we got to bring the love back into it. I know. I'm just going to shut up now. We can't change the past. But can we rectify? We can't change the past, but we can make it better tomorrow by making that decision and carrying on that intention today. Right now. In this minute. In this magic moment. So many things, misunderstandings and offensiveness and stuff like that would totally change if each individual person just looked at themselves and took accountability and made the decision to be different or to just be loved, you know? It's up to you. We're responsible. We can all sit around and bitch about shit, but if you're not doing anything, shut the fuck up. Serena, no. I love you, and there's good in you. And I know you want to be different. You have to allow yourself to do that. You have to release yourself. Peace and hair grease.